is this could be applied for everybody. So I thought about doing homework for myself too. And I just turned in my homework to Sia Mimlan this morning. And that's why he invited me to talk about it. So thank you, Sia. Not only that, I also asked my mom, Ricky's grandma, can you also do this, homework? And then she did it too, but, she will not share it this time, but maybe later on. This golfing. Well, first of all, I'm so nervous because, I'm talking right in front of all of you. So something I learned from this class is a little trick, right? You all know this, right? Keep your two fingers like this. And I talk to myself, right? Breathe in and breathe out 3 times, close my eyes, right? And help me out and do that, right? So let's do it all together. First breath. Second breath. Third breath. All right, I'm much better now. Let's continue. All right, so I have 2 questions to everybody. So from the video, right, what do you think this little boy's profession is gonna be when he grows up? Any volunteers?
Golfer.
Golfer, yeah, right, because he's so talented and he's so dedicated. So that's great. So what the next that? What can we apply from the Noble Eightfold Path that we just learned from this video? Can anybody volunteer and talk about it? What can we apply from the video?
Right mindset.
Right mindset, mindfulness, right? Or one thing that I noticed is that his mom talked about he went to practice 3 or 4 times a week, right? So I think that's effort, right? Great effort, right? Even though he is only 3 years old, he has a lot of effort in this game, right? So that's something that we can apply. There are so many things that we can apply in our day-to-day life from this Noble Eightfold Path, right? So I like to share what I submitted to Sia Mimlan about my homework. So Sia, would you mind sharing my All right, thank you. So anybody have any question? I see somebody's raising hand. Patrick, you have a question?
So I was just asking about can someone give us the link for this video?
Okay, sure. Yeah. I think I don't know whether I can put it in the chat, but I will take a look after the class. Okay. All right. So let's take a look into my Noble Eightfold Path examples. Okay. So last week I was listening to Sia Mimlan, right? He talked about vision, right? We all should have a vision and mission, right? So let's talk about that first, right? So that's at the bottom of the list. If you look at that as the bottom, it's called Pinya, right? The right vision and the right intention. If you look at the right vision, why I play golf, right? So if you look at the title itself, it says happy golfing, right? I'm applying Noble Eightfold Path, when I play golf. So if you look at the right vision, I just want to have fun for my whole life, because it's not just for today, not for tomorrow. I want to have fun, and I have to have joy for my lifelong hobby. Golf is my hobby, and I have fun when I go out there when I play golf. So this is my vision, right? So my intention, right? I just want to stay healthy. If you go play golf, what you do, you go out there, you walk, right? You spend time walking for about 2 to 4 hours, right? You will be, breathing in fresh air, right? The sceneries are nice, right? So just want to go out there, stay healthy, right? And then, the most important thing, have fun, right? Have fun for yourself, and then have fun with friends, right? Those are the 2 things that I like to start with. All right, so that's my right vision and the right intention. All right, so now let's go back up to the top. Okay, so the next one is the right speech, right? So when you play, as you see, Some of you, play golf, right? And as you see from the video, right, the little boy is hitting a golf ball with a stick, right? So it's a simple game, right? So when you hit the ball, let's say if your ball is not going to the way that you want and it's going to the other direction, maybe to the right, to the left, where some other people are about to hit, right? So what do you do when your ball is going to somebody else's direction? You have to say 4, right? That's what you do, right? So that's one of the speech. So I wanted to ask for a volunteer. How do you say 4, right? Let's say you're playing golf. Let's say Yeti is playing golf, and then the ball goes to Wayan, right? The Wayan is playing on the other side. So how do you say 4, right? Can someone volunteer to say 4? Kai, would you help me say 4?
4.
4. What was that? 4.
Because if you are hitting, right, to somebody else's direction, you can't just say 4, right? You have to say 4, right? Because, you want, the other players might be like 100 yards away from you. You want to have, your voice as loud as possible, right? So that the other side will take serious and take cover, right? 4, when they say 4, the ball is coming to their way, right? So you have to say 4, right? That's the right speech. Any questions? All right, let's move on. All right. So when you play golf, right? You're playing, you're playing by yourself. You're hitting, the ball on the ground. It's stable. You're playing by yourself in that sense. But you are going out with a group of friends, right? So when you go out there and play, right? You should cheer up, your friends, right? Let's say if somebody is hitting really good, you should say, "Oh, good ball," right? And you should say, "Oh, it's in the fairway. It's a beauty," right? You should say something like that to cheer up, right? That's a good speech, right? Even though the other person is not doing that good, you can just say, it's okay to cheer them up and say, you can say, "Oh, it's okay. It's playable, right? The next shot, it's not terrible. It's not in the water. You can still play it, right? You can just cheer up, right?" So that's the right speech, right? And let's say, I think we had a couple of, experience, right? When we go out there and play, the group in front of us is taking too long. They're just, they don't know the rule of the golf. They just keep on talking and hitting so many balls. And, what's the right way to solve that problem, right? So in golf, there's a person called Marshall. Marshall is like somebody in charge going around the golf course. He takes care of everybody, keep up with a good pace. You can talk to the marshal and tell him nicely that, hey, the group in front of us is taking too long. Can you talk to them, right? That's the right way to do, right? And what's not the right way to do? What's not the right way? So, for example, if you're hitting the golf ball to them, do you think it's the right way, the right speech to do it? Or do you go and talk to them and say, "Hey, why are you taking so long?" Right? Is that the right speech to do it? No, right? So you should talk to the marshal nicely, right? And the other thing is that in golf, right, you should not criticize other players on what to do. All right? So what I meant by that is that if somebody is playing, right, and when you are going with a group of friends, you should not criticize and say, "Hey, Ricky, or Yeti, your swing is, not doing it right, or your left foot is, this way," right? You should be swinging a little bit longer, right? You should not criticize unless somebody is, ask you to do it, right? Otherwise, that person may not like it, right? But if you're going with a teacher or a coach, that might be different, right? But if you're going with friends, right, you should not criticize each other, right? So that's the right speech. I'd like to have a pause. If anybody have any questions, I think somebody may be raising questions. Raising a hand. Anybody? Thomas, you have a question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to lower my hand. I'm sorry.
No problem. All right, so let's continue. The next one is the right action, right? So in golf, the way it works, the scoring system, right? The lower the score is better. It's not like the other sports, right? Just like in basketball, the more scores you have, it's better, right? In golf, it's the opposite, right? If you get lower score, it's better, right? So in golf, when somebody hits really well, you should honor that player to let him play for the next hole, right? So that's how you should do, right? It's the right action to do. And when you play golf, right, it's not that you are just hitting one shot and then done, right? You might be hitting 3 shots, 5 shots, 10 shots, right? If you're not that good, right? So if you're hitting it, right, whoever's ball is, not going that far, or it's still a long way to go to the flag, you should let that person hit first, right? And you should not be, if your ball is that person's, farther than that, you should not go there and then keep hitting your ball, right? You should have to wait until somebody further than you has been hit, right? So that's the right action to do, all right? And the next one is, also a good one. When you play golf, the ball goes out from the tee box, it lands on the green. So that's where you do the putting, right? So on the putting green, right, you have to respect the other players by not stepping on their line. Their line meaning that the ball landed, and the line from the ball to the flag, that's called the line. So you should not be stepping onto that line to respect to the other person. That's the right action. Right? So the next one is the livelihood. This is very, very important, right? In golf, nobody counts your score. You have to count by yourself, right? So you count your score honestly. This is very important, right? Absolutely no cheating, right? Although no one sees you, right? What it means is that, okay, you hit the ball, it went under the tree, nobody see it, it was covered with the leaves or the sticks, right? You just kick the ball with your left foot and then you just pretend that, hey, I did not do that, right? That's not good at all, right? So the part of the right livelihood, you count your scores honestly, right? That is very, very important. Okay, any questions? No? Let's continue.
Wait, I have a question.
Sure.
What if you do the violation of like crossing the line, or or somebody notices that you did something wrong?
Right.
Like, for example, what happens if you lied and someone noticed?
Oh, you would never want to do that, right? Even though, just like what one of the Buddha's right, qualities, right? What was it? Can someone remember? Even in no solitude? What was that?
Is it don't kill?
To me, please.
Don't kill?
Please, I know you guys know that one, right? One of the Buddha's qualities, right? Buddha is the one who does not do, say, or think any.
Buddha doesn't do, say, or think any evil. Evil.
Even in solitude.
Yeah, even in the solitude.
But that's more important, right? Why would you want to cheat? And I'm not saying that you're going to cheat, but yes, to answer your question, right? If somebody find out, let's say for example, if you are doing a tournament, if the official found out that you did it, you will be disqualified. That means, Thomas, you are out of the tournament. No more playing, right? So.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's move on. How about Daniel? Do you have a question, Daniel?
Yes. Like, can I leave?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, please. You feel free to leave anytime. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Good night. All right. What's
Bye.
the next one? Is you should wear a proper golf attire, meaning that you should wear properly, right? So in golf, you don't wear jeans, all right, or you don't wear a collarless shirt just like this, right? Ricky's wearing a collarless. There's no collar over here, right? So yeah, Ricky's saying that wear something like that, but not exactly like this kind of shirt, but kind of a sport shirt, right? So you should wear properly, right? And you should wear shoes, right? You should not be walking with your flip-flop, things like that. You don't go into the golf course like that, right? And the next one is you should know the rules of the golf and apply it when you play, right? That's part of the right livelihood. So let's move on to the next one. It's the right effort, right? If you want to be good at golf, you need to go out there and practice regularly at the range, right? So what I noticed lately, golf is very popular. All of a sudden, it's so popular because, COVID happened, right? All the indoor sports cannot play, all of a sudden the golf courses are very crowded, right? Whenever you go, there's people. Whenever you go, there's people. So if you go with a group, you can't find a spot to play. So you need to put a lot more effort to get to the golf course, right? You may have to get up early, right? You may have to, go there, right, a little bit early, or maybe you have to drive a little bit further from your home, right? I used to go to a golf course like 5 minutes away. Now I have to go like 25 minutes away, right? But that's okay. I can go because, I want to enjoy and play golf, right? So you should practice more regularly, right? And that's part of the right effort, right? Let's move on to the next one. I'm going to skip that one, right? There you can read a few bullet points. So the right mindfulness. So when you play golf, you can apply this. You should be aware of your surroundings, right? How sometimes the wind, right, is blowing your way, or sometimes it's blowing the other opposite way, right? Imagine when you throw a paper airplane, what happens, right? It will go where the wind is, right? If the wind is, blowing towards you, the airplane will not go, right? So the same concept. So in golf, there are many clubs that you have to use. Depending on how far the ball is, you may be using different clubs, right? So in that case, you may have to account for the wind direction as well. Sometimes because of the wind, you think that, when I hit the ball, it might go to like 150 yards. But with the wind, it may only go like 120 yards, right? So that's something you should focus on, right? And you should focus on where the ball lands, right? After you hit it, right, you should know where the ball lands. Otherwise, you might be asking your friend, hey, where's my ball? Where's my ball, right? Where's your ball, right? Oh, I couldn't find it, right? So what will happen? It's going to take time, right? So you should be mindful of where your ball lands, right? And the next one is very important. Mindful not to make noise when others are about to hit, right? Let's say Yati is about to hit and I go up next to her and I say, I just opened up my glove. I don't know whether you hear it. It's like, brrr, right? It's like, brrr, right? If you do like that, what will happen? Your friend's going to be mad because, right, he's about to hit.
They're trying to focus.
Right, you cannot focus. Exactly, Thomas. Thank you for helping me, right? So if somebody's about to hit, you need to be mindful, right? Not to make noise, right? And the same way, right, when you hear 4, what will you do? Take cover. The most important thing, your head, right? When somebody, telling, is shouting like 4, that means that the ball is coming. It may be your way, it may be somewhere else, but just to make sure you cover your head, right? So that even when it hits, you are at least covered, right? So those are the right mindfulness, right?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Thomas.
So what happened if the person like hits the ball and then where the ball lands and like somebody like just catches it or picks it up from the ground? What happened if that happens?
Well, sometimes it could happen in the tournament because there are a lot of spectators watching, right? It happened all the time, right? One time.
Do they have to give it back, or do they have to, or can they keep it?
Hopefully, the person who got hit, hopefully that person is okay. If otherwise, that person has to go to the hospital, right?
Talking about the
Yeah.
ball.
Right. So maybe the ball will always be there, right? The people will always look for it where the ball lands, right? Wherever the ball lands, that person will continue to play from wherever it is, right? But the most important is safety, right? We want to make sure that we don't hit to somebody else accidentally. Even though if you accidentally hit it, that's why we are saying 4, right? At least we give a warning, right? Does it answer your question? All right. So next one is keep a good pace of play, right? Don't be the one taking too long, right? Sometimes, when we go out and play, you are so focused and okay, you know what? I couldn't hit it right. I let me hit another ball, right? You keep hitting, right? Actually, the group behind you is actually waiting, right? They cannot actually hit because you're taking too long, right? So you also need to be aware of the pace of play. That's very important, right? That's also mindfulness, right? Because when somebody is following you, you better be quick, right? Otherwise they'll be mad, right? All right. So the other one is also important, right? Balance your time playing with, playing golf, enjoying, and, you should also spend time with your family, right? Sometimes maybe I should be going out with Ricky to go for a bicycle ride, or maybe go for a family trip, right? I should not be just playing golf all the time, right? Otherwise, it will be not good, right? Same thing with, what you do, right? When you play for games, you play games, right? But, you should also study, play games. It's okay, right? And then relax, sometimes go out, eat, play with friends, right? You have to be balanced, right? So that's part of the right mindfulness. All right, let's move on to the concentration. Focus on the ball you are about to hit, right? Don't think about the shot that you messed up early, right? So when you hit the ball, let's say the ball go to the water, it happens, right? There are some troubles, right? Let's say the ball go to the water. Don't think about it anymore, because the ball is already lost. The fish not gonna, pump out the ball for you. That's gone, right? Don't think about it anymore. You should be focusing on the next ball that you're going to be hitting, right? So that's important, right? That's concentration, right? And you should be relaxing, right? Breathe normally and just hit the ball, right? Sometimes you're like so tense, like, I'm going to hit, right? You're so tense. That doesn't work, right? You have to be relaxed, right? And then breathe normally, right? Just like when you do meditation, just like when you breathe, right? Regularly, and hit the ball. Don't think too much, right? Let the swing happen naturally. Sometimes, the golfers, they think too much. They just aim at the ball. They're just waiting, and they're thinking about, oh, I'm going to hit like this. I'm going to swing like this. I'm going to hit like this, right? And they keep thinking. When they actually hit, they didn't hit well, right? So don't think too much. Just focus, aim it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit it, bang, that's it, right? So that's the right concentration. All right, I think we finished the right vision and the right intention as well. So I think I've covered everything. I can keep talking, right? But I think it's almost time, right? I think I should stop. Otherwise, you guys will be falling asleep. So, all right, that's all about happy golfing and applying Noble Eightfold Path. All right, so what I want to say as a final thought is that you guys can apply this Noble Eightfold Path in everyday life, right? So golf is just one of the examples that I just mentioned to you. You can apply anything, right, in your day-to-day life, all right? So thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts with you. You guys are great, wonderful, keep it up. I am very glad to be part of this community, right? You guys are awesome. Thank you.